not
room.
You seem great. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not mirroring, just so you know.
What?
I'm not mirroring, so I'm gonna hopefully.
All right, welcome to the Thursday, August 14th, 2025 meeting of the school committee, and we're going to call the meeting to order, and we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. So we have public comment, but I'm not seeing anybody here for public comment. Do we have anybody online for public comment? All right, so we're going to start with recognitions. I'd like to start by recognizing, and we'll see in a few moments that Mr. Palmaville is here from the high school. We'd like to congratulate him on his position as interim principal for this school year, and to also welcome Jess Beatty as our new director of student services. And you'll hear from both of them this evening. So welcome to all of you. Is there any other recognitions that anybody else has?
We went to the Elmwood scavenger hunt earlier this week, and my boys had a ton of fun running around and finding all the different things, and even explored a classroom where someone was setting up, and she was very gracious and said they can come in. So thank you, Mrs. Newton, because they were talking about that the rest of the day. But it was really nice. I really like the introduction to the new building.
Wonderful. Exciting. All right. Going through reports, here we have Mr. Everly all set and ready for a construction update on Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mr. Masters.
Oh,
We can't hear you, Chris.
nor do we want to.
We still can't hear Chris.
But I don't know
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
if that's gonna help or not.
Susan just told me
We can
we'll
hear him
get
a
the
little
Zoom
bit.
going.
Okay, got it. Okay, great. Thanks, Chris.
all right. Can we hear Mr. Everly?
Sorry, one second.
Okay, we can hold for just a moment.
Want to do my superintendent's report, just so we don't.
Sure. Can we swap to the superintendent's report? Sounds good.
All right, let's just put it up on the screen here. Yep. See if we can get the slides up there.
Can we switch the main screen to the slides?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to do it.
It's, we're still working out the kinks. That's good. Awesome.
There we
All right.
go.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna have to rag on it for this no picture.
Well, we'll change it over there. Sorry. Well, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you. This is the superintendent's report for August 14th. I'd like to start tonight with some highlights. First, congratulations to longtime Hopkinton coach Dick Bliss, who was named to the Massachusetts Basketball Coaches Association's Hall of Fame. Coach Bliss spent decades working in our athletic programs, leading the boys basketball team in the 80s, then transitioning to the girls program in the 90s, where he won the Division IV state championship in 1998. He was the athletic director for a period of time and coached our golf team for more than 40 years, winning 2 state titles before retiring in 2019. Coach's impact on generations of student athletes in Hopkinton is hard to overstate, so congratulations to him. Certainly well deserved. Next, a big shout out to our future health professional students at HHS, otherwise known as HOSA, who traveled to Nashville last month for the International Leadership Conference. This is the 5th year in a row our students have qualified since starting the club in 2020 under the it's impressive, under the leadership of advisor and anatomy teacher Marjorie Billiter. At the conference, our students attended dozens of healthcare workshops, seminars, and hands-on trainings and networked with over 14,000 students and health professionals. Next, congratulations as well to Isha Jana, a rising 8th grader who earned 2nd place in the Massachusetts Center for the Book's statewide writing initiative. She was recognized for her letter to author Sabria Kelker about the book American as Paneer Pie. At the end of the school year, Isha was honored at the State House, where she read her letter aloud, which is a wonderful achievement. And finally, a fun alumni note, Dan Merzell, class of 2005, recently worked behind home plate as an MLB umpire at the Red Sox-Dodgers game at Fenway Park, so it's always exciting to see Hillers on such a big stage. So congratulations to them. Next, some general updates and upcoming events at each building. We have a busy and exciting few weeks ahead as we prepare for the start of the year. For our youngest future Hillers, Ms. DeBow and her team will be hosting the kindergarten for a get-to-know marathon and bus experience, August 19th through the 21st. Time slots are based on class assignments. Also on the 21st is new to grade 1 bus experience, and all of these events are for registered students only. At Elmwood, like Jamie mentioned earlier, it was great to see our second and third graders and their families exploring the building at open house. Meeting Mr. Browninger and his team earlier this week. Based on my observations, the scavenger hunt was a hit, and certainly will help our students feel more ready and excited for the first day. Also, student placement letters were sent out yesterday to families at Elmwood. Moving to Hopkins, Mr. Cotter and his team hosted a parent informational night over Google Meet last night. It was very well done and an informative presentation. Student placement letters also will be sent out. I think they were yesterday, actually. And we also are going to be talking about it shortly, but we are still on track to be open for all staff on Tuesday, the 19th. You see a little picture in the corner. That is Ms. Rothermick, Mr. Lebrad, Mr. Cotter, and I am behind the action shot taking that photo. We toured the building earlier this week, so it's great. In the middle school, new to Hopkinton orientation for grades 7 and 8 is on August 20th. That is also the day that schedules will be available in Power School for students. And the grade 6 orientation is on the 21st from 9 to 11. At the high school, fall athletics kick off with football and cheer tryouts starting tomorrow, and all other fall sports begin on Monday, the 18th, which is also the date that student schedules are available in Power School. We have our 9th grade orientation on August 20th and our international and transfer student orientation on the 21st. Next is just a quick look at our first days of school for our students by grade level. Wednesday, the 27th, we welcome back the majority of students. We have our first graders, Elmwood, Hopkins Middle School, and the high school. On Thursday, the 28th, we welcome our kindergartners to Marathon. And then the following week, we start pre-K. Our afternoon pre-K begins Wednesday, September 3rd, and our morning pre-K begins Thursday, September 4th. And we stagger those starts so our youngest students can get the special attention that they need to make those first days smooth and welcoming. From the district level, before students arrive, we'll be welcoming 25 new educators across the district, including 3 long-term subs and 1 full-year sub. For our new educator orientation on August 19th to the 21st, Mr. Lebrad organizes and runs the 3 days, covering topics such as SEL, culturally responsive practices, safety, and even meeting with the second-year Hopkinton teachers to learn about the first-year experience. I know I speak for all the principals and Mr. Lebrad when I say we are very excited for this group to be joining our team. In addition, our teacher professional development days start Monday the 25th and Tuesday the 26th before welcoming our students back. As a staff, we'll focus on connection, collaboration, preparing for a strong start of the year. School committee, you are all invited to attend the opening remarks on Monday at 8 a.m. in the middle school auditorium, bright and early. We'll have some breakfast for you. And finally is the Top of the Hill Spotlight. Last week, we held our annual Summer Admin Leadership Retreat in Worcester, bringing together district and school leaders for 2 full days. Our focus was on relationship building, leadership development, goal setting, and preparing for the year ahead. The retreat, in my opinion, set a positive tone and reinforced our shared commitment to collaboration, a student-centered approach, and continuous improvement. I want to thank the leadership team, many of whom are here tonight, for their efforts, their dedication in early August, and for their leadership. I'm excited to get to work with this group. And the pictures on the slide here is the group at the Woo Sox game after our Tuesday night, which was a great event for us. And then the other photo is us in groups discussing our district priorities. And so that is the superintendent report for the 14th.
Thank you very much. Do we now have Mr. Epperly queued up and ready to go? All right.
And can we check to make sure Zoom is working for Chris Masters?
We want to make sure he has some audio.
That's good.
Technology took the summer off.
Good one.
Well, the rest of y'all didn't.
I got no audio on Zoom.
That's what he said, yeah. Texas.
Good.
Hi, Chris.
Can you hear us?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Gotcha now. Thank you.
We can hear you like
Oh, you just
you're
blew us out of the room.
like you're the Wizard of Oz.
The speakers work.
The great and powerful Chris Master.
That's great. Okay, Mr. Epperly.
So I'll take control of the screen, but joining us again to present is Carly Spink,
Oh, yes.
who has been the PM on the job since the beginning, and she'll share the construction update that we've put together for you. If I get the right slide on the screen, there we go.
Looks good.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. So I'm just going to run through briefly an overview of Hopkins so far. So for safety, we did have one incident that I had mentioned on the last meeting that we attended of a laborer who fainted after an injury which resulted in emergency medical response. But since that incident, we have had no further issues on site. As far as schedule, the overall project remains on schedule, and most importantly, we are on track to get our temporary certificate of occupancy on Monday, which will allow the teachers to come back on the 19th. The team is continuing to work off hours and over the next few weekends prior to school opening to make sure everything's buttoned up for when students return on the 27th. And budget overview, we remain on budget. There's no issues to report there, which is good. For FF&E and security, we have a few updates here. So multiple town vendors are on site this week and next week to install projectors in the classrooms, wireless access points, and the classroom phones. Our security vendor is going to be on site the beginning of September to get the exterior cameras at the new addition online, and then they will return later in the fall to complete their installation in the new addition for cameras, card readers, other security items. As far as furniture, so we did have some demo furniture delivered to Hopkins, which includes chair and desk selections. Which will allow the staff to have a chance to review those. Those are items that are going to be put in the new addition. And we're currently working on a schedule with Perkins Eastman, the architect, for when we need to lock in those decisions and make sure we have all the furniture ready for turnover of the new addition in February. Next slide, please, Chris. So this is just a high-level construction site overview. The focus has really been on the renovation of the existing school. They have been doing some work in the new addition as well, but it's really all hands on deck to get ready for school opening. At the end of our construction update, we're going to circle back. We have the return to school traffic plan that we're going to go over in detail with you, and we'll pull that up at the end of this presentation. Next slide, Chris. And if you want to just click through these, the next few slides are just some images of the work that's been going on over the last month. For the new addition, the brick installation is complete. They're nearing completion on the curtain wall installs, getting the gutters in place, and the exterior doors. The generator and the docking station were installed, and startup with the manufacturer took place on August 9th. They've completed a significant amount of site work over the last few weeks, including new curbing, sidewalks, and parking lot islands along the north side of the site, where the main entry is, and on the south side of the site at the bus loop. In the north parking lot, they have finished paving, and we're finishing up striping today. Chris is showing you that. They have most of the striping completed at this point. In the south parking lot, that has binder course installed and temporary striping. So all those spots are in place for when teachers return. They're also, they have set all the new mechanical equipment and associated piping and ductwork installations are ongoing on the roof. And they're working on getting those all operational prior to students returning on the 27th. And like I said previously, we are on track for obtaining our temp certificate of occupancy from the building department on Monday, which is great. Next slide, please, Chris. Oh, next one, sorry. One more.
Am I
Sorry, I
delayed
covered
or
everything at once.
is that good? There we go.
Change order update, yeah, thank you.
Yep.
So as far as change orders, we did not have any new change orders in the month of July. We did have a handful of change order requests, which were approved, and those will all be rolled up into change order 9, which will be included in the August payment requisition and our August monthly report. Next slide, please.
Just one thing to note about change orders. We've talked in the past that change orders are more heavy in the existing construction stages than they are in just the new construction stages, and the summer has shown that. So one of the things you'll notice in the monthly report that was shared is that there's been an uptick in PCOs. That's not concerning. It's to some degree expected as we get into more of those existing conditions that have a little more variability in terms of issues that sometimes arise.
And this is just an overview of Perkins Eastman, Vertex, and Commodore's billings to date, contract amount to date. There were the two amendments that were previously approved earlier this month for the Loop Road work are not included in this. They will be included in our next report, which will tie up all the July financials. Next slide.
Ed, now you're on to me. So just to give you a quick Charleswood update, we'll, in the future, we'll be giving you slide presentations similar to this. We thought it was appropriate to share it with the building committee next week before we brought it to you folks. But tree clearing is largely complete, and they're really at the point where they're removing stumps. If you're in the area of the site, you can't really tell much from what you can see from the street, but they've actually gone pretty deep into the permanent site. It's about 18 acres that are being disturbed by the work that we're doing. They're really beginning a lot of the sort of temp drainage so that the site is properly managed for any storms that might roll through, and creating a roadway for safe site access. They're working through some of the permitting requirements with the town inspectional services, and what their schedule really would like them to do is to begin foundation excavations very shortly in late August and early September. The one thing you will be noticing in the coming month is the site trailers are going to be delivered and the temp power is going to be established. Once those site trailers are delivered, anybody who has any concerns about the project or would like to speak to someone, you can always reach out to the project website. But if you wanted to actually address something directly, there will be a trailer on site for Vertex, and we have a staff person who's there during the day who can meet with you and hear any concerns that you might have. Not much change to the schedule overall. We're still largely on schedule on both projects. We'll get more updates on Charleswood as the general contractor gets mobilized and they finalize their schedule. We've been through a couple of revisions as they fine tune it. Hopkins remains on schedule. We're well established, as Carly showed you, to be ready to open for teachers in the coming week and to be ready to open for students. And we've seen a great deal of effort from Commodore and their subcontractors to make sure that they're ready to open on time.
That's great. Yes, I definitely saw them last weekend working throughout the weekend, so.
So this is our return to school traffic plan that we wanted to share with all of you. And what you'll see here is the traffic flow around the school, as well as the construction zone where that fencing is going to be, and the recess area for the coming school year. So the traffic along the loop road is indicated in the green arrows that you'll see there. Very similar to what everyone experienced with the last school year. When parents enter the north parking lot, we have the queuing line around the perimeter, just as they did last year, as well as an inner lane for people that are, parked and want to leave. They aren't necessarily waiting for students or dropping anyone off. Just like last year, once they're done there, they will take a right out of the parking lot, follow all the way down the loop road. And also, just like last year, you'll see there's a purple line there where the traffic passes the construction entrance. This is where we have a small stretch of two-way construction traffic. So there is signage there on both sides. People coming from the opposite direction, which will mostly be construction traffic, have a stop sign, so they have to make sure that no one's coming. And then also for people traveling down the loop road for parents, there is sign just telling them that there may be vehicles coming, so everyone will be cautious around that area. Again, that's just to facilitate the necessary vehicles getting in and out of the construction site. You'll see the orange at the bottom of the screen. This is our bus queuing lane. Very similar to last year. We do have permanent sidewalks for a portion of that have been installed, and the curbing that separates the loop road from the bus lane is in place for a portion of that. We are extending it to the left with temporary temporary vehicle barriers, those big orange barriers, to further delineate that bus lane while we're working toward the permanent condition in that location. Does anyone have any questions on this plan at all or on the project in general?
No.
So we've provided this to Matt so that he can distribute it to any new parents who
That's
are
great.
coming to Hopkins. It's going to be the same configuration up to this point, so any returning parents will still see the same thing. The only thing you're gaining is a longer queue, so there'll be less backing up for any parents that are arriving.
That's great.
So that is what we had to share with you for today. If there's any other questions, we're happy to answer them. We want to thank Perkins Eastman and Commodore for working so hard this summer to really make sure that we could open on time. And we still have a little bit of work to do, but everybody has given it a full effort to make sure that we're ready for the students.
Wonderful, thank you. Mr. Masters, do you have questions?
My only question was the 30, if I remember the slide right, the 32% of contingency has already been spent. Is that what that slide showed?
Bear with me, it's challenging to transfer in Zoom.
And as you're looking for that, the 32%, is that, are we 32% through the project? And I know you mentioned it, the timeline of when contingency is used is as expected, and it ramps up, and there are different stretches of where those change orders are put in. But
Yeah,
32%.
You're speaking to this.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll see that there's a more complete version of the PCO log in your meeting packet with the report that we shared. I believe it made it into your meeting packet. If it didn't, it'll be distributed to you soon. In terms of where we are in the overall project I believe the percentage, sorry, it's a little awkward. We're at about 44% of construction billings at this point, but this is a few weeks delayed. It doesn't reflect our current VIP that's coming through now, so we're a little bit higher. So the PCO percentage is actually ahead of the construction update. If you recall, when we were with you 4 to 6 months ago discussing the loop road, at the time we presented a risk register, and what we found is that we are continuing a little ahead of our prediction in terms of where we would be with change orders at this point, but not to the degree that it's concerning in any way. I think it's just representative of the fact that we're a little heavier into change orders while we're dealing with so many existing conditions and so many unexpected costs in order to make sure that we can fit all the work within the compressed schedule that makes up the summer. There's an extensive amount of work that's been done, and so some of that work hasn't quite made it into the billings. So from a percent complete, I would say we're 50% or slightly ahead in terms of the amount of work that's been done. So we're still trending under anywhere where we would have estimated overall change orders to be, and we're in no way concerned about where we are from a percentage of contingency used.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. We appreciate the
Thank you.
update.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Enjoy your meeting.
Thanks. All right, for school committee chair report, I have payroll warrants S25026, S25027, S26001, S25BAL, S2526A, S26001S, 26002S, that have been signed. And then we have warrants number 25129S, 25130S, 25131S, 2603S, 26004S, 26005S, 26007S, 26008S, 26009S, 26010S, and 26011S that have been approved, and the warrants are in our folders. On to liaison reports. Go for it.
I didn't make it to the pizza party,
CPAC party.
CPAC party.
Jamie did though,
I
right?
was there. Yeah, the ESY picnic was really fun. It was a super hot day. So there was more activity inside. There were kids playing in the gym. CPAC folks brought some extra toys and things for kids to play with. There was an ice cream truck. The line never was short. We were watching. We had pizza being served by various staff members, but also Mr. Bishop and Miss Beatty, which was really lovely. And none of the kids knew who they were. They were just screaming for pizza. And there was a magician, which was a real hit. And yeah, that was amazing. It was really fun.
Exciting.
Did you go to the regional, try to get together?
I got to so CPAC organized a regional CPAC get-together and invited CPACs from surrounding towns, and Leslie from the Federation for Children with Special Needs attended, which was really cool. They got a bunch of people. The Hopkinton CPAC board made little "You're doing a good job, treat yourself" treat bags for all the parents who attended,
Nice.
which was very well received.
Very
And it was like really good attendance and closed down Red Heat in Westboro.
Nice.
Excellent.
That was really cool.
Very exciting. Thank you.
And CPAC has, on the first day of school, they have a breakfast
Breakfast.
for parents at the Spoon. I think it starts at
Hoping to
9?
get there.
I
8,
think
I believe.
8, okay.
For those of us who have kids going to school early, we can get there early. Sounds good. Chris, do you have any liaison updates?
Nope, none for me.
Okay.
And I've been looped into some of the communication from the Green Committee with Susan about the different energy efforts in Hopkinton, which has been really neat to get up to speed on. And it looks like a lot of things are being explored, which is just neat to see. But I don't have anything specific as an update. Just I see them working together, and it's a really nice coordination.
Excellent.
I do know they had attended a event about school buses, electric school buses.
Yes.
That was really exciting. All right. So we'll welcome Mrs. DeBow has something for us.
Hello, hello. I am
Hello.
happy to be here
You here?
to have a donation accepted. So, Marathon won a contest through 98.5 The Sports Hub, their Summer View contest. And what it is an Oakers Touch You display panel. So that's valued at approximately $2,500.
Wow.
They would install that, set that up, and what's nice is, separate from the contest, that company is someone that we've worked with for technology. So they're actually familiar with the building, we're familiar with their product. But this is probably even an updated project, because I learned with the addition, 5 years in technology is considered old. So this will be even newer than what we have for that. So it was pretty neat. They announced our school over the radio, if anybody was up morning to hear it. And they know that we are awaiting approval to accept the.
How did you win the contest?
So a staff member entered our name. It was
It was like a drawing. Mm-hmm. Cool.
yes.
Very
So
cool.
it was Mr. Norton, actually. our wellness.
Does he get to turn it on
teacher.
first or anything?
We might plan something special. But what's nice, I think, is how staff, when they see an opportunity like that,
Yeah.
they'll think, oh, this would be great for our school. And so that's something that we value.
Is it like in the foyer of the school?
So we actually were meeting and talking yesterday, Mr. Bishop and Dr. Ghosh, and what would be ideal is if we could move it as needed, where it's the touch screen, if somehow we could incorporate it that our students would be able to manipulate and use it, maybe connect it to some of our work on, restorative justice, social emotional, anything else that we're doing where they could have a part,
Yeah.
we work a lot with our school expectations, take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of this place. So somehow if we could have it where students were able to see it, do it, use it.
Yeah, that would be
the
excellent.
most. So if it was a movable thing, we need to make sure it's not too high, not Mr. Bishop, sorry. That's why they didn't know you serving pizza. They just saw me.
All they saw was the belt buckle, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So that's what we would like, and I would anticipate that they would be able to accommodate
That's
that with
excellent.
us, but that is yet to be seen.
Excellent.
Great.
Well, I move to approve the donation from Ocker valued at $2,500.
Second.
Sounds great. So we need to do a roll call. Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very exciting. And you can sit
I know.
here because you're here for the elementary handbook, but I think Mr. Bishop,
Yeah, we can invite them up if you want. I
Okay,
can
I'll
certainly,
come on up.
if you want to pull that up. So,
They're not wearing green there, they're
yeah, I
Okay.
think begrudgingly. he's allowed.
begrudgingly, okay.
We're going in
I was trying to
order.
make sure I sat.
and Matt, can we change the screen? Thank you. Awesome. All right, as our elementary principals are setting up, I'd like to briefly discuss an addition to all of our handbooks. So I thought I would be the one that would be presenting it on behalf of the schools. There, you can see up on the screen the new language here. There was a recent Supreme Court ruling back on June 27th affirming that families have the right to request their children be excused from certain curriculum content based on sincerely held religious beliefs. We have been working closely with one of our attorneys, Paige Tobin, at Murphy, Lamoury, and Murphy, who's also been collaborating with a group of school attorneys in Massachusetts, including those at MASS and MASC. And they've developed this language that schools across the state will adopt based upon their reading of the case and requirements. We discussed this at our admin retreat. Paige actually came and spoke with us about it, and our staff has been made aware of it as well. So, as I said, the language is up there right here. That'll be in all of the handbooks. And wanted to make sure that you were aware of it. So with that said, I'd turn it over to the elementary folks for their presentation.
Okay, wonderful. So we have general updates, which I'm sure you can imagine every year you've got staff changes. Mr. Bishop is now our superintendent, Jess Beatty, our director of student services, in addition to the Elmwood admin team, Jennifer Hines. So we went through, updated that information to make sure that was current and up to date. There were some minor things that you think, gosh, how did we miss this? The period needed to be a comma needed to be a period.
Too
or
many
something was
words
missing.
and punctuation
Right,
marks.
but then sometimes when you go back, you're like, wow, okay.
I think it was changed on us.
Oh, okay.
That mistake.
Wow.
That, and then even adding simply AM to PM, when we
Yeah.
talk about our arrival and dismissal, didn't really look polished, it just had the numbers, so we went back. Those were some general changes throughout the handbook there. And then now specific changes, we, reviewing it, moved the location where the school resource officer was listed. Previously, it was listed under the school administration section, and we thought that conveyed that they were part of school administration. And we know we value the school resource officer and everything they do for us, but it's really school contact information. So we moved that contact information from that page, school administration, to the school contact information. Okay, next specific change.
Yep, so in looking at pages 14 and 15, we noticed that the Elmwood arrival and dismissal map the link was not working, not active. So we corrected that to make sure that that was an active link. And then we also did the same for Hopkins to update the construction plans and make sure that that map was reflective of the work that was happening over there. And then on page 27. Thank you. All right. We noticed that we had the word unexcused where it was actually meant to be excused in terms of parents reporting absences for religious observances, so that there's a form that is linked there, and we just wanted to make sure that that was reflective of the actual purpose of the form, which would be for parents to indicate when they would like to ask for an excused absence for a religious observation.
All right, one addition to the handbook this year is the Hopkins off and away personal device policy. If you'll remember last year, I believe HMS and HHS added a similar policy. And with our tweens looking more teen by the day, we wanted to sort of fall in line with the middle school and high school to get them ready for those expectations. We already had language about personal devices being in lockers, not in the classroom, but we found that teachers still felt a little uncomfortable enforcing, just so we wanted to beef up that language in there with this policy so that they can all feel comfortable and we're all on the same page. Interestingly, after writing this, state government has a bill.
Yes, I was actually just going to mention that Senator Spilka presented about it to our select board.
Yeah.
And I was excited we are ahead of the,
So whether it passes or not, I think this policy is really good for kids, learning that they can do things on their own at school, but at the same time reiterate to parents that if they ever need to speak to their kids, we have them, right? We call the office, they can come down to the office, we can get any message to them. So I know it can bring some anxiety, those kids not having that device on them, but really it's important for kids to put them away. So
And
we're excited about
just,
that.
Just adding a little bit to that, it's even happening now at Marathon. So it's the smartwatches, the texting, the this, the that. So, and it's hard to focus on what your learning is supposed to be at that time when you're texting, as anybody, an adult or whatnot. So for little ones, we're seeing more of it too. Not phones yet. So I think that bill that comes forth will just reinforce what we're trying to do.
Yep. And then the last one, we just added the language that Mr. Bishop spoke to on page 48.
wonderful.
That is all of our updates.
Thank you.
Should be no more typos or missing.
Right, well,
All right.
so we'll
Next year, you'll be back with a comma that you forgot.
yes,
We'll see.
we hope not. But,
Did you assign a proofreader?
well, actually, I'm going to say we do have some excellent
We do.
editors and proofreaders. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's always
I made
a
it
grueling
change.
job.
Yes, yeah, and
I
they
would
enjoy
not
it.
be
So
good at
that's
that
great.
job, but-
Sometimes when you're too close to it, you miss it.
Oh, yeah, you just
Yeah.
glaze over. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yep.
This is a somewhat unrelated question about the handbooks.
Sure.
The Hopkins Google Meet last night.
I know.
Okay, I was like, I think you know, but no one could get in.
I was able to
Great
get in.
presentation, I heard.
It was a great, I was in.
So I don't know what.
Why didn't you let us in?
I didn't realize I took all the spots. But that's great.
So just
It'll
so
be on the
families can
website,
know, I actually have my welcome back to school coming out tomorrow.
Great.
And I will include the recording and the slideshow in there.
Thank you.
And then also you know where to find me. So if there's any questions,
I got
just,
a lot of messages. I think since my
know,
daughter was
very
starting fourth
disappointing.
grade,
Yes.
people thought I knew. I didn't.
You know what? If that's the only thing that goes wrong, that's fine with me because
great.
the building project is going to be done on time. That's all.
Yeah.
that's the most important thing.
Perfect.
Yeah. But no, it should go out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So technology took the summer off.
Apparently so.
There you go.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. I think we wait till all of them are presented to approve, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. LaFave.
Hello, good evening.
Oh.
be here. Thanks for having me tonight to present changes to the handbook, and it's good to see you all. I have very minor changes this year because there are no typos at HMS.
They're a little more advanced in their ELA skills, right?
So just some very general changes, updates through to dates to reflect the current school year throughout. And, you know, every year you find something that doesn't match wording throughout the document. So there's some cleaning up there. And then you may know that our sixth graders go to a program off-site called Nature's Classroom every year. That company has sold the facility to a company called Outdoor Classroom. So we still take the same trip, it's just a different name, Outdoor Classroom. I have a little language that I tweaked regarding the cell phone policy, just looking to add some clarity. I'm proud of the decrease in cell phone use that we've seen over the last few years. I know in speaking with staff, this concept of off and away seems to be working for us. There are some things that need to be addressed from time to time, of course, but so just a little change in wording here to reflect cell phones turned off at the start of the day and remaining off through the end of the day. And I just wanted to highlight it's not a new policy. And it has certainly led to positive connections and interactions between students and staff when that policy is followed. So proud of the success there. Wanted to just add a note to our communication protocol between parents, families, and staff. I mean, the collaboration with families at our school is excellent. And teachers are looking for that collaboration with families when there's a concern for their student. And of course, those are by and large very, very positive. And I think they're positive when the outreach leads with a question, just looking for some clarification on either something that happened or something that they're hearing at home. Unfortunately, every now and then we might receive a message that starts, as I wrote here, from a place of blame, and that's tough. That's tough for a teacher. I can say, like, I still remember receiving some of those in 2000, 2001 when I started teaching, and the teacher is there to, you know, do the best they can by your students. So I think leading with a question is always the best way to start. So just some new language there to try to capture that spirit.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
As a middle school parent, I am thankful for your cell phone policy. My daughter's going through she's away at overnight camp without her phone for 2 weeks, which is a fabulous experience.
Yep, my daughter did the same this summer.
Do they have withdrawal symptoms?
Yeah, I think it was a little rough growing, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it is. It does come as a shock to them for at least the first couple days. So glad to know we have that shared experience.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Nice to see you all.
And Mr. Palmerville. Oh, Mr. Andrade is coming. Sorry. You're sneaking in the middle.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I hope everyone's had a good summer.
Yeah, you too.
Excited for everything to get started tomorrow and Monday. So
Yeah, lots happening.
yeah. So not too many big changes for the athletics handbook. We'll start with some general changes. Changes to the administrative team, obviously with Mr. Bishop stepping into superintendent and Mr. Palmerville stepping into the principal spot. Changes to the athletic staff. We hired a new assistant athletic director who actually played a big hand in some of these changes coming up too, which is great. So kind of adding him in there as well. An inclusion of a table of contents where parents and families can find information easier. Overall formatting change, kind of cleaning up some of the areas of either repetitiveness or code of conduct things being in different spots and trying to get them all clumped together so that we don't have people looking for something that's not there. And then the inclusion of an appendix with some additional resources related to athletics, which will be, I think, the last slide. We'll talk a little bit more about what those resources are. Specific changes. So this is a change from last year, which was a change from the year before. With specific to athletics, we have a policy of being in school we had a policy of being in school for half the day, coming in by 11:15, in for the rest of the school day. We went through some issues with it last year where it was kind of in the middle of some classes at times. And so you have kids kind of coming in at 11:10, disrupting class, trying to be in so that they can participate. So this new policy is every student has to be in by the start of the third block of the school day. That is a lot easier to track on PowerSchool. It's a lot easier to track for our coaches, and it's a little more clear cut about when students should be in with less disruptions to the actual class day. And then additionally, students who are not in school on Friday before a weekend competition are not eligible to play in that competition the next day or Sunday. And that was already a policy, but that's more spelled out, again, with getting a lot of questions about that kind of throughout the year last year.
That's even if they miss, they come in by the start of third block on that Friday?
No, they'd be able to participate if they.
Yeah,
Okay.
they would, yeah. If they're in school for the right amount of time on that Friday, then they're good to go.
Does everyone, I only have elementary kids, so does
Yep.
everyone know what time the start of the third block is?
So at the high school, because it's a rotating schedule, it's a different time. So it is, I think sometimes it's 10:30, sometimes it's a little earlier.
When you were in school, did you know what times third period started?
I don't know. It was a while ago.
It was,
I think the kids will know. I think
Yeah.
with this policy and the coaches talking
They'll
about it, and
know.
they'll
Okay.
know. Yeah.
and
parents
a
must know.
schedule
It's a
does
great-
come
The parents
out in
know
the
that.
newsletter about
Yeah.
what day it is, which I don't understand, but they do, so.
Sounds great.
It's in their best interest.
It is
Completely
definitely confusing,
understand
so
it
I
and
understand
follow it.
We added in, we have a section of philosophies for our athletic program. We had freshman, JV, and varsity. In order to maintain consistency, we added in a middle school philosophy part. Again, to kind of just explain what the purpose of middle school athletics is for our students. Additionally, we added in an athletics offerings spot, so we list every sport that we have, which wasn't in there before, which is surprising. In addition to our new gymnastics program that is coming up this winter. We've added in a more, I guess, direct conflict resolution, policy that is designed hopefully to have kind of a chain of command and a specific chain of command when any conflict arises. And so this has been told and presented to the coaches before. I think it needed to be presented to the students as well, because at times I think students, families, they'll jump right to either the principal or myself before having had a conversation with the coach who's directly involved with that student athlete. So that this new addition is helpful with kind of reminding people where to start when they have a question.
Yeah, it's in the handbook. When a student joins a sport, do you kind of highlight that part for the parents?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's explained at our parent meeting that we have that where we go over all this information as well.
Excellent.
These are two MIA rules that are that were added to our handbook. Again, kind of remaining consistent with what we have in our handbook from the MIA, spelling out exactly what these rules are, so that when kids come into the school, they know. We have exchange students, we have students who come in as transfer students, and some of the kind of rules around that are a little bit unclear. And so hopefully this kind of clears that up with some of these students. So the code of conduct is in our, it's in our handbook already. We added in the bottom line there, any form of gambling, online or in person, just as kind of it's becoming more relevant, and I know kids are talking about it more. It's one of those things that I think, we have to, as administrators and as coaches, and we have to shut it down when that conversation comes up. The sportsmanship and fan behavior, we already have in the current student handbook, we wanted to kind of put it in the student handbook as well, as that has always been the expectation, making sure that that's kind of hammered home with all of our student athletes as well. Transportation, again, another addition that we already currently have that we go off of. So this is added kind of in accordance with our transportation policy and our alternative transportation form. And then lastly is the appendix, which again, you'll have resources for the MIA handbook, the transportation form, Arbiter Live, which is where our scheduling is, athletic registration, questions about, any questions that you can find answers to on our website, and other links that will be helpful for anybody looking for information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Chris, questions? All right,
Nope, all set.
okay.
There's probably a delay.
I think, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. Hello. Hope you're having a great summer.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of changes that we're proposing for the handbook, but it's important to say that the majority of these suggested changes come from feedback that we received from parents and students over the course of last year, mostly to put in writing clarifications and just kind of make sure all the information is there and in writing very clear so parents and students can access it. So a few of the general changes, as all the other principals stated, just kind of changing dates, changing, start of the semester, end of the semester, things like that. In addition, we also changed the wording, as you know, with myself coming into this position, and also we have a new assistant principal, Ms. Sarah Ellum, so making sure that all that is updated and accurate. And then we saw a couple things, now I'm starting to think about the typo part of it, but we did have other
Hand that to
things.
Sarah and just say that's your first job.
That's a great call.
Oh,
Good
she-
move. Yeah, no, she'll love that. She's probably watching. So in addition to that, we did notice in some places where there were general things like it said senior privileges when it really was referencing privileges, so we want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. The two changes that we're proposing have to do with attendance and tardies. And before we talk about anything with attendance and tardies, it's really, really important to preface it by saying we understand that there are a lot of factors and a lot of circumstances that go into attendance and tardies. So it's really, really important to make sure we're not painting with a broad brush. We want to make sure that in those situations, we have the wording in there, but also room for working with the different things that we encounter. In addition to that, what's not in the handbook is the conversations that happen with families and students to really understand the situations. And a lot of these will have to do with when students have excessive tardies and excessive absences and things like that. So there's a lot of different reasons when a student's absent at the high school level, it might be absent from a class, not as much for the whole day. We don't see that as much as we do from certain classes. So the first change that we're proposing has to do with the specific language. We already had this in here. We talked about school-sponsored activities. So if you're going on a field trip or you have something like that, it doesn't count as an absence. We wanted to add wording that alternatively, students may not be able to go on a school-related activity if they have excessive absences or tardies. We've never had that in there before, but it is important. We want to incentivize students to be there. We all know the relationship between being in school and academic success. We want to make sure that that's there. And what we encountered this past year was situations in which maybe a student has 12 absences in English class, they're going on a history field trip, where they'll be missing another English class. So we really have to have a conversation about that, and we want parents and students to understand that if they hit these certain thresholds, they might not be able to participate in those field trips and stuff, even though they're very beneficial. So the next one is a bigger change, I think, because when we were looking at the way we handled and communicated consequences, we were kind of prescriptive to the point of just restricted. So it only said if you hit 6 tardies, you will get a detention. That's not really in keeping with our recent practices, whether it be restorative practices or looking to alternatives. We know that detentions in Saturday schools can be beneficial, but they're not going to change behavior for every student. So we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into this singular thing, which if it's not the most effective strategy, let's be creative and explore different options. So what we did was we expanded this to say that they may receive a consequence, i.e. restorative practices, highly structured days, detentions. And then if there are subsequent tardies, there may be additional consequences assigned and potential restrictions. One thing you'll see throughout all of these is that idea of potential restrictions to extracurricular activities or field trips, school-sponsored events, and things like that. So we think that's really important, and we want to make that consistent across the board. We don't have a lot of prescriptive, you do this, you get this in the handbook. It's just not the best way to kind of solve these problems and offer support to families. So we wanted to have a little flexibility in how we deal with those. Those are the only changes. Now we would just move into additions. So as you may recall, over the last couple of years, we've installed a lot of vape detectors throughout the building. So when it comes to restroom behavior, we had smoking and littering and vandalism, but we did want to include something about tampering with vape detectors. We haven't seen this happen, but we do want to be very clear and call that out specifically because, one, they're very expensive and they're very beneficial, but at the same time, we don't want students tampering with them. The next addition is much like the other ones, just a different section where we talk about eligibility to participate in school activities. We have that attendance part of it built into that as well. So we want to make that consistent. If we change it in one portion, we want to make sure that it's consistently reported throughout. As Mr. Andrade said, it does definitely impact athletics, and we're just trying to incentivize students to be in school on time and to be in school as many days as possible.
Can I ask a question about that sentence?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. The attendance policies and expectations, is attendance modifying policies and expectations, or are expectations separate from attendance policies?
So
Does that make sense? Like, I'm reading it, I'm not sure. Is
Okay.
it dependent on adhering to attendance policies and expectations, which includes tardies, or is it adhering to attendance policies and expectations? And then what are the
it would be this. So it would be the second one. So it would be that if you are going to participate in school activities and events, it is dependent on you adhering to the attendance policies and expectations. The expectations related to attendance.
Okay, so
attendance.
attendance
Yep.
does modify.
Yep.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. And it's important, like when we talk about these different things, to make sure that everyone's very, very clear with this. So that's a great
I
question.
wasn't sure if there was another secret expectations line.
No, we're going to try to be as transparent as possible. We haven't added any secret expectations, but we'll keep you up to speed on that. The next one has to do with end of the year obligations. As you may be aware, when seniors, before they graduate, they do need to settle all their accounts. And one thing that we noticed was there wasn't any mention of paying parking tickets. A lot of these are obvious class dues, all those different kind of things if they owe any money to the cafeteria. But parking tickets, and if you recall, last year, well, not just last year, we've had parking issues for quite a while. But last year we did kind of overhaul the ticketing process, and that's been actually very successful. That's been very helpful. But one thing we encountered was at the end of the year, some families were unaware that they had to pay the parking tickets before they could get their caps and gowns. So we want to make sure that we're explicitly saying you need to pay the parking tickets included with all the other things that go into kind of reconciling your accounts at the end of senior year. The next one is just about field trips, and again, it's just for a consistency standpoint, talking about attendance and tardies and making sure that they're meeting that criteria prior to being able to go on field trips. And then the last one has to do with parking, and this is just specifically calling out as we've been ticketing more frequently, more consistently, and that's actually produced some really good outcomes. We wanted to say specifically, these are the reasons that you would get a parking ticket. So students can fully understand and families can fully understand, why is my son or daughter getting a parking ticket? The reason they are is because they did X, Y, and Z. So fully spelled out. In addition to that, it also has each ticket is $50. So it's important for them to also understand that, so they're not surprised. Because if you remember correctly, previous years it was $10 and it went up last year to $50. So it's going to stay at $50 now moving forward, but we don't want anyone to be caught off guard by that.
When they get their parking permit, I assume that they also receive a paper that says, you can't do these things?
Absolutely, yeah. It's fully spelled out and it's all in there in the application for the juniors or for the senior parking. Any questions? That's it? No? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Fine.
Well, I can comment on that a little bit.
I think it's a good idea.
It does seem like a heavy fine, we have limited parking for the amount of students that we have, so that's something obviously that we have to talk about. But unfortunately, I think sometimes the conversation that would be happening with students that maybe Mr. Palmenville and I would hear walking by is that, how many tickets could I get before I would reach how much I would have to pay to actually buy a ticket to park?
To buy it.
Yeah.
So then we said, okay, I appreciate
You're doing some good math
the math skills. Very nicely done, but I think we need to, application.
Yeah, if it's a $10, it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
50's
So
scary.
that's it. And our parking tickets went, I know you didn't say the numbers, but they went down this year, which is
We had a
good. So,
reduction in parking tickets, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And we also had we can't really quantify this, but we also had a reduction in complaints about parking, which is always nice.
Yep, yep.
Sounds like there could be correlation there.
Yep. So, thank you. Great.
Sounds good.
I move to approve the handbooks as presented.
Second?
Great. Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Mrs. Ronka?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson, yes. And I'm a yes.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Nice job, everybody.
Thank you to all of you for all that hard work, including all those commas. All right, Mr. Lefebvre, I think you're back up.
Yep.
He's trying to figure out.
Okay. This is an exciting one. Mr. Hay, Craig Hay, who's the subject matter leader for music K-12, reached out to me to inform me of a donation of a violin to our string program, which is awesome. So this is a donation from Kelly Hibbard, town resident. This really does have a big impact. Not sure exactly how our string program will put it to use, but it could be anything from a student who forgot their instrument that day and will now still be able to participate in their lesson. That's huge because your instrument goes out for repair and you don't want to miss that learning. So this is a very generous donation of a violin valued at $1,000. So we're very, very grateful.
Thank you.
One violin is $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, it's a great donation to our school.
It is fabulous. And we have so many
Wait
violins.
till your kids move into French horns and things.
We have 2 trumpets. We have like 2 clarinets. I'm
But they-
hoping we
Oh,
can.
they won't choose what you have.
No, they're not, no.
That's what.
No, they're not.
I move to accept the violin valued at $1,000 for HMS Music Department.
I second.
Great. Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Mrs. Ronka?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you so much.
Well, that's music to my ears.
He was waiting for that one.
Dad joke.
I had that video, yeah.
I love
Thank
my
you.
violin to
Thank
a
you.
friend. He wanted to learn to play country. I never got it back.
Oh,
He owes you $1,000.
my daughter's one of those who hopes for getting her violin would mean she didn't have to play, so. Mrs. Beebe? Yeah. Welcome. It's your first time.
Right?
They're all staying
Oh,
for
they
you.
don't have to stay. Oh, you're
Yeah.
the sweetest. That's how
They're
I was
gonna
gonna
cheer.
start. Thank you for having me. I was gonna start before I talk about the request. Just what a great transition this has been, and this is a little emotional. It's been wonderful here, and I'm so happy to be here. Being in a prior district for over 20 years, to take the leap is really hard, and this team has been absolutely amazing and collaborative and supportive and very student-centered, which is exactly where I want to be. So, I've dove in already and done, I've been over to ESY, I've met with students, I've met with staff, I've met with principals, obviously the central team, CPAC.
They haven't pulled any pranks on you?
Not yet. I'm waiting. They're,
What you
they're,
think
now
about?
we'll see what happens. They're waiting and they're not supposed to be
It's
here.
Mrs.
so I'm
DeVoe.
nervous, right?
She's the instigator.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's why she dressed like me tonight.
Exactly.
Right? She's pulling me in. So, no, it's been really amazing. So I just wanted to thank everybody. And
Excited you're here.
I'm looking forward to the year ahead. So with that, I'm going to put in a request.
Much more money.
I wanted to put forward a request for a 1.0 para at the C level, which is an ABA, more behavioral trained paraprofessional for a unexpected need at the middle school. After looking at the students' specific needs, and it was done after the FY26 budget was put forward. And we really looked at what we could do. I feel like this is in the best interest of the student and also most fiscally responsible for the district, and kind of vetted it through. Susan as well, who's been helping me along the way, so thank you for that.
She found you some money?
Yeah, we found some money. Yeah, we did. And
she's really good at that.
She is really good, and really, yes, she's been amazing. So that will be pulled through some grant funding, so it will be covered. But I just wanted to put that request in and hopefully get that approved for the start of the school year.
Well, I move to approve the level C. Is this okay? I'm not rushing.
Nope.
The level C.
All for expediency.
1.0 FTE ABA paraprofessionals for the middle school.
Second.
Great, Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Mrs. Ronco.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question. Have you been having any problem filling paraprofessional roles?
Not as of yet.
Okay, good,
Nope.
good.
Yep.
Fingers crossed, we continue with that.
And I actually think we're pretty full, so I think
Oh,
we're good.
excellent.
Yeah, we're in good shape. Yep.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to all of you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Have a great beginning of school.
Yes.
Some of us will see you 2 Mondays from now.
You get butterflies the night before? Oh,
Excited. Thank you, everybody. Nice job. Well done.
look, it's so nice they all stayed for her.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great group. It really is. And I mentioned before about our retreat. I thought we had a really nice
Made me
retreat.
feel a real team member.
Yep, yep. And it's certainly a good vibe and a good culture right now, so it's great.
Yeah.
And she's done wonderful, so. And speaking of moving things quickly, I will just touch upon the entry planning process. I know that's next on the agenda. So at our last meeting, we discussed the need for an entry plan as a new superintendent. I'll be working closely with my mentor, Jane Tremblay, on how that process works. And then tonight, I just thought I would share a little bit more about the specifics of the plan so that you can understand kind of the timeline and we can be on the same page with that. So just again, the process really is intended for me to help kind of understand the what's working in the district, what needs immediate attention, and where we can grow as a district moving forward, so we can support our students not just academically but also socially and emotionally. So a little bit of the timeline. It's already been starting, but now through January, I'll be visiting schools, meeting with staff and students. I'll be holding listening sessions for families and community members, both in person and virtually. Those will be scheduled shortly. I'll be meeting with town officials and town leaders. I was actually at town hall just yesterday meeting with some folks. And I'll be reviewing, with the help of Mr. Lebrad, a variety of data sources. And then we'll be launching a community survey sometime in October or November to get some feedback for folks who can't make the meetings in person or virtually. And then shifting to kind of the second stage of it, from January to March, what we'll do is we'll take time to analyze all the feedback as a team. In central office, we'll hone in on those key themes, and we'll share what we've learned with you first at the school committee, then with staff, students, families, and the community. That might trickle into April, but we're hoping to kind of keep it in that January to March timeframe. And then kind of closing out the cycle from April through next August, so this time next year, we'll be creating a new strategic plan together, highlighting on our strengths and areas to focus on as we look out 3 to 5 years. And so basically throughout the process, and always really, we're committed to open communication and collaboration, and we're excited to get to work. And we ensure that, our hope is that we ensure that all students find success at every level, whatever success might look like, and that everyone ultimately is proud to be a part of our school community. So we're excited to get going on this work. So that's a little bit of that. And
Very exciting.
I will say that there'll be more of a detailed process and plan, the full packet that I know you have in your packet, put on our website starting tomorrow for folks to be able to look at under
Okay,
the superintendent's page. So,
Very comprehensive.
yeah.
I know several members of the community are looking forward to getting to speak with you.
Yep. Yeah, my
I
schedule's been
mentioned
pretty
that.
full the last 2 days. Yeah, it's been great.
I
Yeah, I've been meeting with a lot of
bet.
people. It's been wonderful. Yeah, getting to know some folks.
That's great. And we all had an opportunity to meet with you as well, which was great.
Which is good. Yeah, awesome. So,
Wonderful.
thanks.
All right. We are moving into our school committee norms and protocols. I know both Chris and Jamie had some comments. I don't know who wants to start. You want to start, Jamie?
Sure, I can start. So the document that we received varies from what we revised last August. And we had spent a lot of time revising the document that we put together last August. This one has some of the revisions that we made as a committee, but not all of them. And there's some things that reverted back to the previous version. And so I would prefer to see it go back to the one that we worked on last year, would be my preference.
Yes, I think that is a good idea. Do we have the new one? No. You said you marked up a copy. Do we have?
I have here, I'll send it to everyone right now.
That would be helpful. And Chris, you had something that you wanted to add to the,
Yeah, just some language that would include some financial responsibility as a school committee into the documents.
I think in that could go well in that first paragraph there that we have. The first paragraph says school committees are elected public officials selected by their fellow citizens to act in the interests empowered to act as they see their duty to work for the children of the community. I think maybe after that, if we were to compose a sentence.
So, I think I can absolutely see a benefit to adding more wording around our financial responsibilities. It does include fulfilling your fiduciary responsibilities.
Oh yeah, the last sentence.
But I can absolutely see a benefit to that because that is, 1/3 of our job here. That absolutely makes sense.
So maybe after that sentence. The last sentence says, democracy demands the individuals use one's best judgment as proceeds to rather than coming to the will of another, whether it's resolving matter policy, fulfilling your fiduciary responsibilities, or providing leadership. A sentence after that reflects Chris's thought.
Was there anything you had in mind, Chris?
Are you having trouble?
No, there was a strange noise behind.
Oh. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I can send you something. Again, I'm on vacation this week, so I'm sorry. I must have missed that part of the document. I think adding a little something probably makes sense, but I didn't have anything
You want to just try and compose
prepared. Yeah.
Well, and we could do that now, or everyone.
We bring it
could,
back for next
like
week.
refresh
Yeah.
to look at the document that.
Why don't we
had
do that?
last
We
year.
will look at the document that Jamie's sending us. We will have Chris add something to that paragraph, and then we'll take
Great.
a look at it, put it back on the agenda for our next meeting in September. September 4th. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
I don't remember what day that was. Sounds perfect, so we don't have to take votes. All for that. Great. Also, I'm sorry, I didn't really pause to see if anybody had questions about the entry planning process. Did anybody have questions about that or comments they wanted to make before we moved on? I'm sorry, I'm all for moving along.
It looked great to me.
doing too quickly.
Yeah, nothing for me.
Okay, all right, so we can move on to the items by consensus.
All right, so I recommend that the school committee approve the items by consensus as listed in your agenda.
I move to approve items by consensus.
Second?
Great, Mr. Masters,
Yes.
Mrs. Ronka,
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson, yes, and myself is a yes, we're good.
Great, awesome.
So, does anybody want to make a motion?
I move to adjourn.
Second?
All right, Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Ronka.
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned at 7:44. Woo-hoo!
Thank
Nice
you.
work.
We'll see you all on September 4th, and enjoy the rest of your vacation, Chris.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Rec-